is time now for our rants and raves of the week, and starting with you, Kelly.
I'm just giving a rave for the Committee to Protect Journalists because they're honoring journalists as they do with their 2015 International Press Freedom Awards. And the journalists are from Ethiopia, Malaysia, Paraguay, and Syria. And I mention that because a lot of our conversation here are about these tough conflict areas. And these people are going out there and telling the truth. For example, these Zone 9 bloggers of Ethiopia, they're a group of bloggers. 6 of them were arrested, imprisoned, and charged with terrorism because of their reporting. So we got to raise up these folks because they're doing a lot of the groundwork where we don't even, American journalists don't have bureaus or are unable to go, and we know through them what's going on in the world. So bravo.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, Marjorie.
Well, I'm inspired by you, Emily, because you don't like to see people run out of town on a rail. And I'm going to give a rave for Brian Williams, who did a lot of things wrong. We know the big one was he said he was taking fire in the Chinook helicopter, which wasn't true. And obviously he's got some credibility problems. But he's going back to MSNBC. He's going to be doing their Pope coverage. And, you know, I like redemption stories.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a very talented guy. Obviously some problems there. But MSNBC, the ratings are terrible. You know, they had Al Sharpton on there for a long time. They get rid of him. He's on Sunday mornings now. He has some ethical challenges, needless to say. So Brian Williams does too. He's a real talented guy. Let's see what he can do.
Now, I'm confused. I can't remember. Does he have his own show?
He doesn't really, well, it seems to be floating at the moment. He's going to be back for their Pope coverage. They're going to get rid of. They're going to be doing a lot of breaking news during the day, which is his area, and it's not clear exactly where he's going to be yet. But it's going to be in that breaking news segment during the day.
So it's Monday he comes back.
I believe it's Monday. Yes.
So I think you're influenced by working at Crux on the redemption. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay, maybe I'm being too nice to the guy, but
I'm with you.
It's her fault. He was run out of town on a rail.
Right.
I have a rave for Richard Nixon,
Really?
who has been doing some absolutely tremendous analysis and humor about the presidential campaign on Twitter. It would be excellent by any standards. For somebody who's been dead for 21 years, it's been absolutely extraordinary. He is pro-Kasich, which I think befits somebody who would be considered a liberal Republican by today's standards. And this morning I read that when Bob Woodward finally joined Twitter earlier this week, one of the first things he did was to start following Richard
who
Nixon.
is this guy?
Who knows?
Give an example of something that's hilarious.
Well, okay, today he put up, he doesn't like Carly Fiorina.
Okay.
And so he put up a tweet that said, you know, you get in touch with me, I'll give you some background on Carly Fiorina. And then immediately Ron Ziegler jumps in and says, off the record, of course.
I thought you were going to say is that there were old Dick Nixon isms that had been reinserted into the...
They've captured the voice.
Yeah.
They've captured the voice.
Sort of like fake Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
That's a good one. All right, Adam.
You know, I went fishing with Brian Williams last weekend. No, just kidding. Just a joke.
Taking fire.
I would like to rant about the ordinarily very fine Red Sox beat writer at the Boston Globe, Pete Abraham. He reported today in a beat writer's notebook under the heading, "Now It Can Be Told," that back in April when David Ortiz, Red Sox great, joined the Boston 2024 Board of Directors, Pete Abraham in April went to him in Baltimore and said, so, you know, tell me about this. And Ortiz not only didn't know that he was on the board of directors, he didn't even know we were trying to get the Olympics. Fascinating detail. Now remember, this is around the same time that we were learning that Boston 2024 had said that Harvard was, you know, eager to help out, and Harvard said, news to us, that local business owners were allegedly contacted by Boston 2024 and cool with moving, and they said, that's news to us. This is a great detail. It's being reported many months too late. Now, I went back and forth with Abraham along with other people on Twitter about this today. He said, you know, I was in Baltimore again covering the team. I just happened to think of it. There's no vast conspiracy here. That may well be the case. I still wish this had surfaced when it would have been a huge story, because it was a big story that Ortiz was
sort of wonder
saying,
if there isn't more to this, like David's agent gave the permission.
Well, and actually one possibility that Pete Abraham mentioned is that maybe the agent didn't fill Ortiz in. Maybe, you know, maybe it wasn't simply that Boston 2024.
But he had no plan of showing up at some round table and having a discussion about them.
Well, the mere fact, again, there's a pattern here. It could have been the agent, but there was a pattern of the Olympics organization not doing what they
I
said
wonder
they
if
were.
Larry Bird knew he'd been hired as the traffic consultant.
It's a great follow-up opportunity. So.
All right, well, finally tonight, I have a qualified rant for the media in general over this coverage of this kid who made the clock in Texas and
Oh,
got
yes.
thrown out of the school. And he brought this device to school that a teacher said looked like a bomb. He got put in handcuffs, and it's outrageous. I share the outrage.
Mohammed.
However, I feel like there hasn't been a critical eye on this at all, that everybody is just kind of lockstep in the outrage, and that somewhere along the line, what prompted, we don't know. We don't know what prompted this teacher.
Apparently, he brought an electronic clock to
I know,
school.
I
and,
know,
I mean,
but you know,
He's been doing, he's tinkers and does stuff.
Yeah,
all the
I know.
He just went to high school.
I know. I'm just saying, I just feel like there's a little bit more to this story, and everybody's just jumped lockstep into.
why don't you think it's simply what's been reported, that he's Muslim and
Because
he brought an
because
electronic
the
clock?
teacher said, "Oh, you're Muslim. You're going to call the police." I don't know.
No.
That's I'm just
Remember,
saying.
this is a town. This is
Right,
a town where the
exactly.
mayor has made the fight against Sharia law
Exactly.
a big
But
priority.
my point is, we don't know what led to it. We don't know.
Oh, all I know
I
is
haven't
that
seen it.
they kept him in a room for an hour
I know,
and a
but I
half
haven't seen
after they determined
what-
it was not a bomb.
what
So what is
conversation-
going
For
on?
3 days.
We need a little bit more information. That's all I'm getting. All right, that's it for our show. Tell us what you think. Email us, tweet us, or leave a comment. We're always on at beatthepress.org.